Okay, this is part 3, and this is take 4. Yeah, take 4 of part 3 of Bruce Lee and Jimmy Lee. Okay, I was trying to explain the last one about that Jimmy Lee also mentioned about a person named Count Dante, or Count Dainty, or whatever if people can remember. Well, Jimmy Lee would laugh because he brought that up to me for some reason, and let me use this book to block out some of these walkers that interfere with this video. Okay, so Jimmy Lee mentioned about Count Dainty, saying that he was supposed to be the deadliest man alive. This is what Count Dante, or Dante, how you pronounce it. He's also on YouTube also, where supposedly he taught some kind of deadly art. Well, Jimmy Lee would laugh, and he would look straight in my eye and say, he would kind of grin and then look me in the eye and say, "This guy, Count Dante, he would say something like that and moan." He said, and he hinted that Bruce Lee would tear him apart, and so to speak. I forgot his exact words, but he mentioned like Count Dante is no comparison to Bruce Lee. So that was one of the other things that Jimmy Lee brought up. Okay, so, and also when you write the payment and to the address that I gave you on video 2 or 1, the payment is just to cash, okay? And for security reasons, it's in care of that P.O. box. Yeah, in care of. So don't forget to print your name and your address very clearly so I can mail you off a copy. Best to my knowledge, no one has revised any copyright, and this was more than, 48 years ago? Probably longer than that. Yes, more than 50 years ago that I received this book. So, and I was just a kid. So, again, a lot of us retired, and I do want to mention something about Al DeCoscos. Well, Al, if you're listening, I did take photos of you and your sons, and actually you allowed me. Hold on, some feedback. Hold on. Motorcycle junkies. Yeah, people buy motorcycles to make noise, I guess. That's all they can do. Anyway, Al Novak came to our school one time, and I went to his school about 2 or 3 times, yes. And actually, you can ask his old students. One of his first schools that he had was actually in Hayward, California, off of 8th Street on Meeklen Avenue. I think it was somewhere near Cherry Lane or something like that, or Cherry Avenue. Al DeCoscos was very slim, and he was about 6 foot tall, somewhere around there. I don't know why his sons turned out to be shorter. And I met his wife Malaya at that time when she was taking, and Malaya was probably the only black belt female that appeared on Black Belt magazine, one of the first or something. So the thing about Al DeCoscos, there were many strong rumors that he trained under Jack Man Wong. and I'm not sure, but that's a good rumor because he won a lot of sets, some forms, and tournaments. And I believe I saw him spar one time, and he has really good technique. As far as I know, he retired. He went back to Hawaii, where that's where he was from, if I'm correct. Because I talked to Eric Lee some years ago, and he no longer in practice, and he has schools in Germany or somewhere like that in Europe. But Al DeCoscos was pretty well known in the San Francisco Bay Area, as much as Jack Man Wong, supposedly, who fought Bruce Lee. So I see a lot of stories on the internet, but I think a lot of people say all these stories just to get a lot of views, and I really don't believe a lot of it. Maybe some of it is true, but I doubt if all of it's true. Okay, so I'm going to turn some more pages on this book. Oh, here's some other illustrations of fighting techniques. Yeah. Okay, so I hope I covered a lot, and the history that I know is true. I'm not making this up because I was getting into the martial arts when I was very young, and my first big competition was sparring Eric Lee, and Eric Lee was pretty fast, man. And Al Novak, let me tell you, Al Novak is really a big guy. But he had tremendous speed. He weighed about like 300 pounds, but he could move like a lightweight. That's how fast his hands were. And he was also a judge for a lot of Chinese Kung Fu systems. They recognized him qualified to be a judge. Okay, what else? I have other things that I might have missed, and I apologize, but even if you don't buy this material or whatever, but anyway, for this book, I think it's very reasonable for $2.50, all the pages. On the Tao of Kung Fu, that early one that I showed you on Bruce Lee, I don't want to shortchange you. There are like 2 pages kind of fuzzy, but you could still see a good percent of it. Other than that, it's pretty clear. But once again, people like Bruce's wife have auctioned off a lot of it. She collected more than $300,000 on Bruce Lee's training equipment and things like that, but no one got his nunchucks in the movie of Enter the Dragon. I think that was a priceless thing, and people either thought it was too much to buy or whatever, but that was up for grabs too. That was the last thing I heard. Now, I think all systems are good. It's just teacher. Because when you have a good teacher, you're really going to learn a lot. And when you get a teacher out there that, see, even Al Novak told me you could make your own system. But the thing is that you better believe it better be effective, because you're going to get clobbered, you're going to get hit, man. And there's a lot of good counter punchers out there that really know some good stuff. And there's a lot of good street fighters that never took a lesson in their life, and they're fast, and they're deadly, and they don't play. So keep that in mind. I see one time I talked to a guy, and he would always call himself master, and I knew right away he was really conceited, you know what I mean, because who knows, maybe he knew some more stuff than I or whomever.